Welcome to the video. You've seen the title, and if you've checked out the video description or community post, you already know what we're diving into. So, let's get straight to it. But first, for newer players, what exactly is skill editing? In Mighty Omega, skill editing allows you to customize almost every aspect of a skill: power, speed, cooldown, cast time, and more. These changes can significantly impact your performance. Done right, they'll give you a competitive edge. Done wrong, you're handicapping yourself. A skill may be considered meta, but if it's unedited or poorly optimized, it's practically useless. You're better off using that spare skill reset you had lying around. Recently, I've noticed more and more players, even signed fighters, asking others for skill edits. And while that's understandable, it's a bit odd. Skill edits aren't one-size-fits-all. They depend on your build, your stats, aptitudes, fighting style, skill synergy, and even your character's height. Borrowing someone else's edit might make things worse. Take Supreme Fang, for example. Some players edit it for high power and slow speed to maximize damage. Others prefer a fast version with low cooldowns for quick counters. Then there are those who use it to trigger downstate effects. That's one skill, 3 completely different applications, depending on the player's intent and build. That's why this video exists, to help you understand why blindly copying someone's skill edit is a mistake. You're potentially nerfing your own effectiveness without realizing it. The fundamentals of skill editing. Many players ask for edits because they don't understand the mechanics. There are many sliders: power, speed, cooldown, cast speed, range, dodge window, and more. It can be overwhelming, even for veterans. My goal is to demystify that. In this video, we'll cover the different types of skills, how to properly utilize each, what kind of edits best fit various situations, a high-level understanding of upgrading skills, if time permits. But before we go any further, here's something important. Skill synergy trumps individual edits. If you're using capoeira, but throwing in skills from brawler, karate, and wrestling with no clear vision, you're sabotaging yourself. Reset your skills, choose a style to commit to, and then return to this video. Most styles have built-in synergy and passives you need to leverage. It's fine to experiment with versatile or utility-based skills, but avoid cluttering your build with skills that serve no clear purpose. Let's keep this video concise. Let's begin. First, stun skill edits. So, what are stun skills? As the name implies, if you land one, you briefly stun an opponent and start a combo. Each stun skill has its own individual max stun time. Now I see why people ask for edits. It's because we're only given a limited amount of skill tokens, so people don't want to take the risk, right? Well, I'm going to share something insane with you all. If you go into the Mighty Omega server, filter through the updates channel, and search up a skill, you can actually view if it's had any changes made, like its max stun time being buffed or nerfed. That's why you shouldn't worry about skill tokens. It's not that deep. Your skill will be buffed or nerfed. It is what it is. Generally, though, for stun skills, you want to prioritize power over anything else, sacrificing speed, and aim for a cooldown around 30 seconds. Before I proceed, let me explain why you'd want your stun skill cooldown to be around 30 seconds. As many know, Mighty Omega introduced a new mechanic back in 2024 called stun decay. If you have too many stun skills, your stun effects become less effective every time you land one within a 30-second window. This is bad. It can actually get you punished if you're not paying attention. Imagine you land a roundhouse, then go in for elbow cut, but because you're still in the stun decay time frame, you land the elbow cut and your opponent shrugs it off and punishes you. Yikes. This is especially noticeable on muscle builds. As of now, the max number of stun skills you can have in your build is 1. If you have another skill with the stun tag, landing one of the two will initiate stun decay. Now, if you just run one stun skill, you don't have to worry about the 30-second edit. Let it chill at 20 even. But why settle for less? Let's be honest, people miss their skills. If you miss roundhouse, stun decay doesn't apply. Meaning, if I had another stun in my kit like sickle sweep, I wouldn't be affected by stun decay, since it only applies if I land the skill, not miss it. At max, I'd advise having 2 stun skills. If both have 30-second cooldowns, you can alternate between them and use that as a timer to track decay, which can be useful mid-battle. Now that I've explained the necessity of stun skills, let's get back to skill editing itself. The power slider, when maxed, won't guarantee you the max stun time. Max stun time is actually calculated via the number beside the power slider, 30, 40, etc. For elbow cut, you'll want around 40 since its max stun time requires more power. Roundhouse maxes out at 25. But I'm not here to give values. I want you, the viewer, to figure out what skills you want and actually understand what you're doing, instead of buying skills based on the name. Let me quickly mention that max stun time varies for each skill. Elbow cut may stun for a full second, while sickle sweep might be only 0.75 seconds, for example. I hope it's a bit clearer now. Experiment with your edits. Incorporate your playstyle and make it synergize with the rest of your kit. Don't worry, only the stun skill section will be this in-depth. All the other skill categories are relatively simple to explain. I know I said I won't be showing you edits, but I might flash some on-screen here and there, so you can replicate and modify them. Remember, whenever you pick a style kit, go through the update logs in the Mighty Omega server, use the filter, and search for the skill's name. That'll tell you the type of skill, stun, grab, etc. Next up, grab skills. Grab skills are pretty straightforward. If you're in range of a player, you can grab them, in your character's direction, and put them into a temporary cutscene state that ragdolls or downstates them. Grab skills are super important in Mighty Omega because they can dictate the pacing of a fight. 90% of grabs inflict downstate, which eats away at health and stamina if you're not careful. Most grabs also come with hyper armor, so they can't be interrupted by M1s or other skills once activated. That makes them powerful. But if the player knows how to parry or counter, you can be punished, unless you're using shoulder throw, which bypasses that.
Okay guys, I lost the AI voice, so I'm going to use this one instead. Okay? Anyways, as I was saying, editing grab splits into 2 categories, damage and skill set. Damage grabs include crashing force or 100 meeting throw, skills you edit for raw damage. 100 meeting throw recently got downstate, but everyone still uses it for damage, so shush. For damage skills, the devs swapped out the speed slider for cast speed. Cast speed doesn't scale off your stats, so even if you have 2000 SS and set speed to 0.60, it'll be just as slow as someone with 200 SS and the same cast speed. Cast speed generally works well above 0.70. Keep that in mind. The other category is kit grabs, skills associated with kits like judo or wrestling. Judo players typically rock a pure judo build with low cooldowns. Their goal is to deplete your stamina. Wrestling players do the same. These builds are super aggressive and don't give you a chance to recover. Players want short cooldowns for these grabs because keeping someone in downstate is way too beneficial. You can combo extend and use skills that hit downstate. Also, if you land another downstate skill within 10 seconds of the first, it prevents the opponent from rolling. So, grab someone, they roll, and if you land another grab within 10 seconds, they're forced to sit and get up slowly. Quick recommendation: run Conditioned Hulk Aptitude. This app takes any skill that's on cooldown off cooldown if you land a grab. I don't think I need to go in depth on grabs anymore. I've highlighted the key stuff. You just need to pay attention. Always come back to this video if you get lost. And if you need help, don't be afraid to join my info server. The link is in the description. We've got tons of players willing to help, whether you're new, old, or returning.
Okay, let's talk about knockback skills. Okay, I'm going to keep it real. You are going to run knockback skills only because they have a cracked passive, like Icebreaker, for example, reduces a player's defense and gives them suppression for 10 seconds if you have it at 5 upgrades. Or Solid Strike, which will disable the opponent's dash and pause their stamina for a period of time. Hell, Thunderclap literally takes away people's stamina if it lands, and it's such an easy skill to catch people with since its hitbox is so shady. Honestly, you can't go wrong with a knockback skill. Editing them, however, is up to you, since following up actually requires a level of skill. Mott will run a minimum cooldown so they can abuse the passives the skill grants. Oh boy, don't get me started on 8-fold Demolition Fist. That thing applies 7 different debuffs which will happen every 20 seconds, and it's such an cancerous skill. And I'm a woo saying that haha. As I've said before, to edit a skill properly, your best chance is to search up the functionality of the skill via update logs in the mighty Omega server and go from there. Other than that, I don't think there's really anything else to cover about knockback skills beside the fact majority of them also guard break. So that's a bonus, I guess. It's time to talk about counters. Let me just start by saying that running at least one counter in your build is advised. It's such a free punish for morons who will rush you at every angle. You get a free combo off it and call it a day. Now for counters, I know I said I won't be giving edits, but you generally want to keep the dodge window above 0.20. Dodge window is how much time passes where you counter is still active. Once it has gone past the time frame, you will be punished by your recovery time. Recovery time's baseline is 0.35 from what I call, which is 0.3 seconds of end lag. The higher your recovery window, the more punishing the end lag you receive for missing your counter. You don't really need a high dodge window to be fair, since you can just spam it if you ever get caught in a combo that isn't true and punish the opponent for being sloppy. I wouldn't advise baiting around with it, but it's up to you how you want to use it if you want to take risks. For counters, many will keep it under 25 seconds so they can spam it in the fight. Many counters have very powerful passives as well, like 1-inch counter that takes a skill off cooldown if you land it. Weave's max upgrade passive gives you access to the ultra variants of the Brawl kit if you dodge within a 0.18 time frame. These ultra skills are devastating and can turn a fight around near instantly. Don't sleep on Weave if you are rocking pure Brawl. I don't think I need to expand on counters anymore. I want to keep this video short but informative so players can come back and re-watch it. If I missed anything important, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I might even pin somebody for being helpful. Downstate only skills, don't be confused. These are skills designed to be used when the player is in downstate. Arm breaker, leg breaker, crushing stomp. There's many skills that are designed to interact with downstate, and some that can hit both downstate and non-downstate like Hatsudo or high stick shot. I don't have to go in depth with this. Editing downstate skills are super easy since you can go pure power edit and call it a day. It's all about that extra damage that adds up. I advise only using downstate skills if the opponent is in a situation where they can no longer roll out. Strike skills. Strike skills are skills that do not cause knockback. They essentially function as stun skills but without the stun decay, debuff, and max stun time benefit. Strike skills generally are a victim of being hit with the stun tag. For example, Rakshasa Palm was a strike skill, but recently got categorized as a stun skill, which means you can run it unless you intend on. Only have one stun skill without being affected by decay. Skills like these, you will want to treat like stun skills because even though they are not considered stun skills, they still stun the opponent for a brief amount of time. And this can vary between skills like Raging Blow or Lion Bite. Strike skills like these, I will recommend keeping the speed around the baseline of 1 so there is no possible chance of end lag which will interrupt your combo flow. You can also have Stirk skills on low cooldown, since stun decay doesn't affect them. I wonder if I'm missing anything. Oh yeah, I may as well mention evasive skills. Now, there is only one evasive skill in the game currently, Tenrei Saya, which is a AoE skill that lets you push away any player and deal major damage. You are wondering how this is an evasive. You can use this skill while being stunned for 40 cost. Now, for something like this, I would recommend a cooldown around 30 seconds, since you don't really want to spam this in a fight because you might end up in a situation where you can use mode, or run out of mode. There's not much to cover about this, since evasive skills haven't really been expanded on at this current time. If I'm missing anything, I'll probably make a follow-up or a part 2 video in the future. Thanks for watching. I truly hope this video helped whoever watched this. And hey, if you still want to use someone else's edit, go ahead. It's up to you how you want to play. I can stop that. But I am hoping that you at least try experiment and not let potential be confined by set sliders. The most important thing in Mighty Omega is having fun, and I hope the experience becomes less painful when it comes down to editing skills because of this video. Appreciate you all. Good night, Mighty Omegans.